Blowing the Dust Off Common Core: How Graphic Novels Can Add Interest to Increase Retention in History Classes, using The Great American Dust Bowl as an example. Presented by Emma Hartloff for the University at Buffalo's Library and Information Science Course 535, Resources and Services for Young Adults. What are graphic novels? They are a format that combines both words and sequential images to tell a story. Just like other formats, their content encompasses all genres of fiction and nonfiction. Why should graphic novels be used in the classroom? Words and images make graphic novels available to a wider variety of learning styles and levels. Visual, verbal, and kinesthetic learners will all be able to take something away from a graphic novel after reading it. ELL students, or students who are weak in reading, can use the pictures to provide context and meaning to the words. They can be more effective for information retention than traditional textbooks. Graphic novels create scaffolding for the ideas and concepts presented in a history class, building the first layer of understanding upon which everything else is built. Graphic novels provide visual representation of historical and cultural events. The nuances of facial and body expressions, symbolic images, and the use of color, shading, and drawing style all contribute to students' understanding. 2 nonfiction books will be used, and the Common Core standards they address will be included in the slides. The Great American Dust Bowl, written and illustrated by Don Brown, is about Black Sunday, one of the worst storms during the Dust Bowl. The Worst Hard Time, written by Timothy Egan, follows the lives of 6 families during the Dust Bowl. Chapter 16 relates directly to Brown's book. Don Brown uses bubbles and fonts to differentiate between the narrative and direct quotes from eyewitnesses. His drawings are angular and sharp, emphasizing the hardship suffered by the people who lived in the plains. Excerpts from Egan's chapter can be compared to Brown's book. How do both authors represent the information? What aspects of the storm did the authors focus on? How is it similar? How is it different? Can Brown and Egan's claims be compared to other sources, such as Ken Burns' documentary, The Dust Bowl? Can another step be taken to compare these historical storms to the ones now experienced in places such as Arizona? To reinforce the concepts learned, students can create their own comic strips, illustrating scenes or quotes from The Worst Hard Time or Ken Burns' documentary. Various software is available for making comics. Bitstrips and Pixton are 2 examples. Both have areas specifically for classroom use. There are also many downloadable templates available for students who wish to draw their cartoons by hand. While only 6 of the applicable Common Core history and social studies standards for grades 9 and 10 were directly addressed, all 10 standards are met by integrating graphic novels into the curriculum. Students have to determine the central idea of the text and cite specific textual evidence when comparing sources or creating comics. Today's students get most of their information visually through their phones, computers, and e-readers. Classes that utilize this by adding graphic novels to the curriculum will find both an increase in interest and retention. Librarians can take this knowledge and use it to help teachers find supplemental graphic novels appropriate for the lesson plans.
Created using Powtoon.